Welcome to another episode in our little collaboration here with InSaiyan. And we are back with some Sunday football, as I'll be playing as the Parramatta Eels, and we are taking on InSaiyan and the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Now, I'm not too sure if I mentioned this before, but the reason why his jerseys are like that, I think it's because he's using custom created 2020 teams. And I just edited my rosters using the original. What year did this come out? I think the 27, what am I talking about? The 2017 jerseys, I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, I chose the Eels, a very intriguing team to play with. This whole matchup in general is pretty interesting, as I believe both teams have similar packs, a lot of strike out wide. They are kind of at the same level when it comes to skill, these two teams, but I reckon Parramatta just edged them out when it comes to the playmakers. And excuse the little mumbling or what may sound like whispering in the background, as Frizzell gets an interception here and he will score early for the Dragons. We're only 3 minutes into the game. But back to what I was saying about the voices in the background. This was supposed to be a live commentary video, but like I was saying in my last upload, his voice didn't record, and if I were to upload the raw video, it would have sounded like me talking to myself. But it's all good. We can pivot here and chuck in a little post commentary as Gutherson makes a high pressure catch, a beautiful kick, almost pinning Gutho in the end goal. Asmani takes it out of the ruck, gets pulled down just before the 10. We're just trying to work our way out of trouble here so we can get a good kick in on the last. Dylan Brown at first receiver sends it to Wanga Blake, and I'm pretty sure that was an accidental grubber, but luckily we regathered as our skipper takes it to the line, gets us the go forward that we needed, and gets a little offload away to Regan Campbell-Gillard, the 2020 signing, now in a decent position on the last. We throw up the bomb for Dufty, Nathan Brown chasing it down, looking to get a good hit on the fullback, and he's pulled down just outside the 20. And who is this? James Graham finding a bunch of meters around the ruck. He gets wrapped up on the 40, with the Dragons looking to shift it to the right. A little skip and a ball out to Pereira, but he's taken care of by Ferguson as they continue to look for meters through the middle. This time Frizzell gets past halfway. It's turning into a bit of a grinder here as a ball goes to ground, and a disjointed Dragons just throwing the pill around, playing a little bit of hot potato, fifth and last, pretty much in the same exact position we were, as they try and poke one in behind the D-line, but it'll be Mitchell Moses all over it as he regathers. And we're in a little bit of a better position than we were last time, as we look to work our way out of the 30. And oof, Madison runs into a brick wall called Paul Vaughan. As we try to find something out wide, Dylan Brown gets caught with the ball on halfway. We go for a little sneaky kick out of dummy half with Mani. With the wind blowing against the kick, was always going to be tough to find the line. And Dufty's going to get pulled down back on the Dragons 30. Other than that first interception, it's been a pretty decent game so far in this first quarter as we enter the second. And it's going to be Hunt looking for a ball back inside, gets intercepted by Sean Lane. Something had to give sooner or later between these two, as Gutho fends off Vaughan, and Gutherson will race away here. Dufty looked like he took Gutherson's speed for granted, and we cross over for our first try of the match, all off the back of that little interception, as Mitch Moses adds the extras, and we are locked at 6-all, 23 minutes in. Off the kickoff, it's going to be Campbell-Gillard with a little bump, and he makes a little bit of post-contact meters just past the 20. Sean Lane again makes some more post-contact meters himself. A nice little short ball to Nathan Brown. Brown gets out of the effort from Duffy at the back. As we look to swing it to the right, Mitchell Moses just gets a mistimed pass off. Comes off one of the Dragons, off one of their chests, I believe. And we let the Dragons off the hook as Jennings gets a spot tackle on Lafai. I tried dragging him over to the sideline, but we're unable to do that as Tarek Sims gets driven backwards. Still, there's still a decent battle going on between these forwards here, as Quick Hands find its way to McInnes. Duffy in at hooker sends it to Norman. Norman with the drawing pass to Zach Lomax, and Lomax is tackled 25 out from the try line as they send it wide to Norman. Quick Hands across the field as Aiken gets it out to Pereira, and the powerful Pereira gets those crucial post-contact meters. I've got to say, that was some nice fringe defense. Ferguson held off at the very last moment. Fourth tackle here, a flat-footed Ben Hunt sends it inside to Graham, and Graham runs over the top of Gutherson. What a beautiful inside ball play from InSaiyan, and he gets the Dragons up by 4 with the kick to come. We definitely need to take another look at that try, I reckon. In post-production, I'll throw up a replay. But yeah, that was a beautiful try by InSaiyan, getting Graham one-on-one with Gutherson as we head into half-time. Dragons up by 6 points in a pretty tight game once again. As we take a look at the half-time stats. And the stats pretty much tell the story here. It's been a mixed bag for both of us when it comes to attack, both making 4 errors. So the second half starts off with me readjusting my forward pack. I accidentally had New Corey playing in the front row as we kick off, not paying attention to how strong the wind was blowing. We pretty much smashed the ball into the stands as InSaiyan and the Dragons look to spread it wide through Pereira. And he's wrapped up 15 out. Man, just immediately under pressure into the second half as Isaac Luke waits at dummy half, sends it short to Frizzell. He tries that little cheeky switch of play that he got me with in the first game, but we're able to defend well there as Luke takes it out, gets it out to Norman, Norman to Marin, and Marin's taken by the captain. They continue to go to the left side and Norman coughs it up, and we get extremely lucky there. Led off by the Dragons here as we get wrapped up with Kane Evans, and he gets driven backwards all the way to the end goal. And we're going to hand it over to the Dragons once again, this time in the form of a dropout. That was a good, 5-meter drive, and Evans was pretty fresh. He just came onto the field in the second half as Tarek Sims draws in to put Lafai through the gap. Lafai with the drawing pass to finds Lomax on the wing, and it's the Dragons about 11 meters out. Norman drops it off for Tarek Sims, and look at that tackle by Gutherson with I think the help of Evans, that was driving Tarek Sims sideways. Josh Kerr getting into running right into traffic, gets stopped just inside the 10 as they shift it to the short side again. Doing a decent job at defending so far. On the last, and we're going to wrap up. Josh Kerr, not the player they wanted, with ball in hand on the last as we get the ball back after a pretty decent defensive set. Dragons just throwing everything at us there as Kane Evans, before the glitch happened, it looked like he was getting driven backwards again, and not getting the go forward we want with our bench players, as Paulo takes it forward this time, and Paulo throws an interception. Who is that? Trent Merrin with the banana peel, throwing it at Reed Marnie as they go for a little inside ball play, and they lose the ball once again. Sloppy attack on both ends here, but we get it back through Moses to Jenko trying to get outside his man, but Tim Laffey wraps him up. As we almost throw a forward pass, luckily we hold on long enough, and this time it's the captain once again setting the example, getting us that go forward. A little bit of post-contact meters to boot. As Brown runs onto it, puts Takairangi through the gap, and I don't know why I passed it there, but thankfully we still retain possession. I think it was Wanga Blake actually who threw that unnecessary pass. I thought I had the reset, but it's fifth and last here as we send it to the skies. And Jordan Pereira with the fancy back to the opponent catch for some reason, as Isaac Luke just pumping his way upfield, gets close to the halfway line. A beautiful shot there by Paulo. He lines up Ben Hunt, which is what you want your big men to do. You want them terrorizing the playmakers. As they send it on the last to Norman putting Sivo under pressure. None of the wingers really putting in work here for us. Haven't seen Ferguson all game. As Jenko tries to take it out of dummy half, and he's pulled down on the 40. Again we get hit with that glitch and we end up wasting a tackle here. As Moses kind of caught us off guard with the quick play the ball, but we do spread it out wide. Takairangi inside to Dylan Brown in support. A decent bit of play finally from us. A little drawing pass puts Brown through the gap, gets rid of Dufty, and Corey Norman to the rescue as he saves a certain 4-pointer on the last, trying to put it on the toe, and an accidental kick gets taken by Jennings. Jennings passes, gets an interception, and it's Zach Lomax here with the fend, and he will get wrapped up. And unfortunately that's where we end it here. It ends up being InSaiyan and the St. George Illawarra Dragons walking away with the W in a scoreless second half effort. Man, I don't know, I just couldn't string together the attack that I wanted to try and play, but kudos to InSaiyan for picking up that dub. As we look at the full-time stats, Frizzell gets a man of the match, and just look at the error count on both sides. We're in the double digits on our side with also 13 missed tackles. We just gotta take that L on the chin, come back stronger in the next game. As always, if you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit that like button, and if you're new around here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe to InSaiyan's channel, which will be in the description below and in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you later.